105, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
ATC 10.
10-4, only 5 precinct units at command unit for 7.
Police dogs are a breed apart. You can see it in their eyes, in their body language. But every dog owner, even those of us with untrained, unruly knuckleheads, can learn something here. For officers on patrol, these dogs are not just for show.
I trust the dogs more than the people. I depend totally on him. He depends totally on me.
I grew up with dogs, but I never had the relationship with those dogs as I have had with my police dogs. And I know that he'll be there for me, and he knows that I'm there for him.
We have all these tools on our belt, but then you have a dog in your back seat to help you apprehend, the most violent felons and bad guys out in the field.
Every week, the entire Fort Worth Police K-9 unit trains one dog at a time. Each dog is different, just like their handlers.
Some of them are much more aggressive, some of them are more laid back.
You can see a lot of the personality from the handler. If they're slower paced and kind of like methodical and just kind of easy, kind of happy-go-lucky kind of people, that dog kind of takes after that trait.
Fort Worth Police use two breeds, the dependable German Shepherd.
They're just more consistent. They're more loyal.
And the higher energy Belgian Malinois.
Are great. They're faster, they can jump higher, they're more athletic, but it takes them a little bit longer to mature.
All of Fort Worth's dogs are cross-trained. They can find drugs using their incredible sense of smell, and don't bother putting your dope in coffee grounds or Ziploc bags or even dog food like some people do. You won't fool the nose of a trained drug dog. They are also patrol dogs who find and catch criminals.
We can take one dog team in and clear that whole building in 15 to 20 minutes, and that's a large building. Where if you were doing it with officers, you would need 6, 8, 10 officers, plus your perimeter officers, and then have them search it, and it's going to take them well over an hour to do what the dog can do in 10 or 15 minutes.
A rite of passage for any officer who dreams of joining the elite unit is putting on what they call the bite suit and playing the role of bad guy. And notice this, their tails are wagging the entire time.
To the dog, it's all a game. To the dog, he's looking for his toy, and it just happens to be a very large bite toy. And that's what he's looking for. He's not going in there because he's mean. He's not going in there because he's angry. He's not going in there looking to hurt somebody. He's going in there to do his job and find his toy.
Tonight, that toy is me.
It's an occupational hazard, right?
That it is.
On warning, please K-9, call out search for the dog.
The dog is released to search a building inside the sprawling Fort Worth Police and Fire Training Center. It's told to get out there and find a bad guy. And one bite is never enough. Tonight, longtime K-9 Unit Sergeant Alan Norris watches his team and the dogs train with a look of nostalgia on his face. He and his partner Max will soon retire together. Max is just old enough that it would take him too long to bond with another officer to be useful anymore. Ahead, the transition from action to retirement, not always easy for one man or one dog. And what the rest of us can learn from the highly trained and motivated police dogs. It turns out, a lot. This was one of the last times Fort Worth Police K-9 Sergeant Alan Norris and his dog Max trained with the rest of the squad before they both retired.
Have you figured out you had the world's greatest job or right up there?
I knew it while I was there. I knew I had it.
Years of working with smart, driven dogs has taught officers a few things we could all learn with our house pets.
When you're working with your dog, be consistent. Do the same things over and over. And dog training is repetition. There's a lot of similarities to having one of these patrol dogs and a 2-year-old. You have, because that's about the same mindset they're on, where they have a lot more energy than they have knowledge.
The whole time the tail's wagging, which tells me what?
They're having fun. It's just a big game to the dogs. This is all a huge game.
You got to spend time with them. You got to exercise them. You got to, give them something to do.
Sit.
Work with them on a daily basis.
Good boy.
You can't do it once a week or once every other week. You got to do it all the time.
Would I be more successful with my 2 dumb dogs if I made them work?
Absolutely. You'd have.
What can I do at home though?
I mean, just as much as like practicing like heeling next to you on a leash if you're going out for a walk or something or a jog. Just get them to retrieve a ball or a newspaper or something and bring it back to the house. That's working. And that's rewarding for the dog.
As we're playing, we're also training, and the two go hand in hand. It is my job to keep that dog in tip-top peak performance so that he can go out and find the bad guys when we need him to.
It's more important to physically praise your dog, I think, than a kibble bit or something like that. That's more gratifying because you'll establish, in my opinion, you'll get a better bond, a more loyal bond with that animal if it's more like personal and it's more touching of the dog, petting it and talking to it, in a high-pitched voice.
As for the dog's place in any family, it should be at the bottom of the family pack. Very simply, anyone with 2 legs is the boss of anyone with 4.
And one of the things that I did with them early on is dogs are pack animals. So they learn their place in the pack. And one of the ways that we worked with that, I had my youngest daughter feed the dogs. She'd go out there and feed them. So dog learns his place in the pack is below her. So he knows that he needs to protect her and watch over her because she's feeding him.
Dogs are masters at reading human behavior. That's how they communicate with you. They know the mood you're in, pitches in our voice. The high pitches are more excitedly. Real deep, low pitches, like, no, don't do that. Don't get in the trash. It's more harsher sounding just because it makes you feel better to reward them with a treat. Inside, it's not necessarily good for the dog.
When does a dog get in trouble?
Well, of course, you have the puppy stage, which thankfully we don't have to deal with police dogs because we don't buy them until they're at least 13 or 14 months old. And then you're going to have another stage when they're over 2 years old, because that's when they become full adults and they want to test their boundaries and see what they can get away with and what they can't, and what happens if they step over those boundaries.
And weeks after retiring, Sergeant Norris returned to meet and greet the 3 new dogs and their human partners joining the K-9 unit. For them, the beginning of what they hope will be an amazing partnership. And now that highly trained, highly motivated dog is a house dog. Time for him and his handler to kick back and relax.
He still looks forward to going to work every night because he knows once it starts getting dark, it's time to go to work. But, we do a lot of playing. We go outside and I throw his ball for him, throw his toys for him. We go for walks, and hopefully we'll find more things to do.